Have you noticed that the things that used to shake you barely move you now? Not because you stopped caring, but because something inside you changed. You do not react the way you used to. You do not explain yourself as much. You do not chase reassurance the same way. And maybe that scares you a little, because growth does not always feel powerful. Sometimes it feels like distance, like silence, like becoming unfamiliar to yourself. But here is the truth. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming mentally unstoppable. The first sign is subtle. You pause before reacting. There was a time when emotion controlled your mouth, when frustration spilled out instantly, when disappointment needed to be expressed immediately. Now you wait. You feel it. You study it. You decide if it deserves energy. That pause is not weakness. It is control. The second sign is harder to admit. You have stopped needing everyone to understand you. You used to over-explain, over-justify, over-defend. Now you speak once, clearly, and if someone chooses not to understand, you let them, not because you feel superior, but because you are no longer desperate to be validated. The third sign is quiet. You are comfortable being alone with your thoughts. That used to be dangerous territory. Silence once amplified insecurity, regret, doubt. Now silence feels neutral. You can sit in a room without noise and not feel the urge to escape yourself. That is not small. Most people spend their lives avoiding their own minds. The fourth sign is restraint. You no longer respond to every provocation. You no longer chase every opportunity to prove a point. You have realized something uncomfortable. Not every battle deserves your intelligence. Not every argument deserves your clarity. Sometimes the strongest move is disengagement. And that restraint feels almost unnatural at first, because we are taught to fight for respect. But mental strength is not loud. It is selective. The fifth sign is emotional endurance. You still feel pain. Do not confuse this with numbness. You feel disappointment. You feel rejection. You feel uncertainty, but you do not collapse inside it. You observe it. You let it pass through you without turning it into identity. You no longer say, "This happened, so I am broken." You say, "This happened, and I will process it." That shift changes everything. The sixth sign is detachment from outcomes. You still care about results. You still work. You still prepare. But your sense of self is no longer hanging on the result. You are not destroyed by loss. You are not inflated by success. You have started separating who you are from what happens, and that is rare, because most people build their identity on circumstances. When circumstances change, they collapse. You are learning not to. The seventh sign is the most misunderstood. You are less reactive to praise. Compliments feel good. Recognition feels good, but you do not depend on it. You do not need applause to confirm your worth. You do not need constant feedback to feel stable. Your validation is internal now, and that makes you dangerous in the most disciplined way. Here is the deeper truth. Becoming mentally unstoppable does not feel like becoming powerful. It feels like losing emotional chaos. It feels like letting go of the need to control everything. It feels like choosing peace over proving yourself. And that can feel unfamiliar. You may notice people reacting to the change. They might call you distant, different, too calm. What they are really noticing is that they can no longer control your emotional state. And that unsettles people who benefited from your old reactions. But you are not responsible for making others comfortable with your growth. Mental strength is not about suppressing emotion. It is about understanding it so deeply that it no longer controls your direction. It is about recognizing patterns without being owned by them. It is about sitting with discomfort without rushing to escape it. This is not loud work. No one applauds you for staying calm. No one congratulates you for not reacting. But these are the moments where real transformation happens. Quietly, internally, permanently. If you recognize yourself in these signs, you are not becoming cold. You are becoming disciplined with your energy. You are becoming aware of your triggers. You are becoming selective with your attention. And that is power that does not need to announce itself. Stay with this path. If this kind of depth and psychological clarity speaks to you, subscribe for more content that strengthens the mind quietly, not loudly, but permanently.